10,000 gecs. That's way too many. Why are there so many? Please help them get out of my house. So 100 gecs is back with their new album 10,000 gecs, which is their second album in their discography. This album is definitely different than the first one for sure. So my overall thoughts on this album, I think it's pretty good. It's way more consistent than the first one, and I'm not sure if that's a positive or a negative. Because one of the main reasons why I love the first one is because it's so wacky and different, and when it's more consistent, it gives you less of that unexpectedness and wackiness. So I still think it's overall pretty good. This album is definitely more cohesive and sticks to a more very rocky and punky, but also with that sprinkle of hyperpop that 100 gecs are known for. What's with the album cover? What is this? But yeah, the production and the mixing is great, even though it's not as weird as I would have liked it to be. The album opens on Dumbest Girl Alive with the THX sound effect, which I think is really funny. I don't know if that's copyrighted or not, the sound effect. If it is, then they must have like gotten the license to put the sound effect in the intro, which I think is pretty funny. I think this first song is a perfect continuation of their first album because it has a lot of that classic gecs sound while fusing it with the newer rock sounding stuff. I think it sits perfectly in the middle of the two projects and is a perfect transition point into this new era of gecs. There's a line in this song that's like something put emojis on my grave, which I love. I think it's a very funny line. I think it kind of perfectly encapsulates what hyperpop and Gen Z is, I guess, because a lot of the music that's been going around recently is like very embedded in like cringe culture almost, but it's kind of embracing it, and I think that's really funny and I love it. And this whole band feels like the musical equivalent of an MLG parody from like 2010. Like this band sounds like Mountain Dew. Not sponsored. The production is weird in this first track. I like the switch up into the acoustic guitar stuff that happens every now and then. I think it's really cool, bringing some organic sounding stuff into the electronic rock vibe that's all distorted and all over the place. So it's a cool switch up, I think. Then it goes into 757, which is not my favorite. It's just kind of this weird melody that's in the beginning that kind of stays out throughout the whole song, and it's not nearly as catchy as a lot of the other songs. I don't think it's as well fleshed out. I don't think there was as many good or groundbreaking ideas in this song as a lot of the other ones. Even on the instrumental in 757 is very, very, very gecs, and I like the instrumental a lot. The vocals should have just done something else, I think. But then the second half of the song, it gets better in that slow down section, which I really like. Kind of switches things up a little bit. And then it goes into Hollywood Baby, which is an actual banger. Really like that song. I like how rocky it is. I like the drums in it. I like the mixing. It's insanely catchy. The chorus is very, very good. And the ending part is also very catchy. The kind of halftime chorus with the breaks in between the guitar strums is almost Weezer-like in a way. It kind of reminds me of Say It Ain't So. If you know, you know. It's just a fun little like poppy rock song. I think it's great. I think it's catchy. It's nice. There's nothing really too interesting about it, but it doesn't really need to be because it's so catchy on its own. And the screaming in Hollywood Baby is very, very good. I like the screaming. The screaming is fun to listen to. Don't take that out of context. Now, I know everyone loves the frog song because it's been getting more and more popular to talk about frogs in your songs because frogs are the new big thing. But Frog on the Floor is not as good as I was hoping it would be. The lyrics are fun, the lyrics are goofy, but the song itself is not that great. It's this kind of fast-paced, wacky song, and the vocals are way too normal for me to fit on this project. It doesn't really fit with the rest of the songs. It's sort of a detour from the album. However, Laura's verse is really, really good. I like the melodies in that and the harmonies, and I think it's good. But then the ending, the little slow down, kind of funky ending, I really, really like. I think it's definitely better than the rest of the song. Doritos and Fritos is a banger. I love Doritos and Fritos. It's a bit of an older single at this point, but I think it holds up. I think it's great. I think it fits perfectly into the album. The beginning of it is just full-on penis music, and it scratches my autism brain, and I love it. I love the contrast of the monotone verses with the very melodic and epic pre-choruses. The pre-chorus in that song is one of the best pre-choruses of all goddamn time. But then the chorus is definitely the weakest part for me in this song. It's just kind of shouting and it's not that great. It's catchy and all that, but it's not anything interesting. It feels like they didn't really put a lot of effort into trying to find a good chorus, especially when the pre-chorus is so good. I think the chorus is a bit of a letdown. And then Dylan's verse is not that great either vocal-wise. However, the Medusa line, "turn you to stone," is so good. I love the delivery in that line. I like the production of this song. I think the entire vibe of the song is great. It's really fun and quirky, but still keeping to that rock feel like the rest of the album. And then the guitar solo is absolute dog shit, and I love it. It's definitely what a 100 gecs guitar solo is supposed to sound like. I think it's great. It sounds horrible, and it's great. And I love the lyrics in the song. I think they're great. Then the next song is Billy Knows Jamie, which is a fucking banger as well. It's this kind of hip-hop vibe, this very sort of cheesy record scratches and all that with the like rock riff in the background. It almost sounds like a Joey Valance and Bray song, but like with more rock elements and hyper popified. I think it's great. I think the vocals are really good. I think it's a really fun song. The riff itself is so good. It's so stereotypical for this kind of genre, but I love it so much. The vocal delivery on that song is great. I love the halftime break in the ending that distorts the shit out of itself. It is so damn good, and I think it's the perfect amount of weirdness for a track like this. It doesn't stray too far from the original vibe of the song, but it's still unique enough to make you go, what the fuck is that? $1 million. $1 million, I feel like, is one of those interludes, like from the first album, like I Need Help Immediately, or you know the one. You know, those weird songs that aren't really songs, but it feels like sort of an upgraded version of that. It's a more fleshed out, but still an interlude, because it just has that one line in it repeated over and over again. And I think it's a silly and stupid little song, but I think it's a banger. I think it's very fun. I think it kind of brings you sort of back to the old 100 gecs a bit as well, because of how dumb it is. It could have been shorter though. A full 2 minutes for a song like this is a bit much. I feel like they could have taken it down by half a minute or so. But then the bass breakdown in that song is sick. It's so good. It's this really good pause from the rest of the song, and I think it brings the whole piece together. I think it's really, really good. Also, my fiance makes a really good impression of the TikTok voice, so we should call her and make her do the song.
Hello?
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 $1 million?
$1 million!
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm sick.
Most wanted person in the United States. United States. United States. I don't like this song at all. I don't like the production. I think it's pretty boring. Although the goofy little sound effects that are put all over the place is very 100 gecs, and that's one of the few things I like about the song. But the vocals are annoying. I don't like any of the vocals. I think they're boring and lame, and I don't like this song. I don't like it. However, the Anthony Kiedis sucking on my penis line, this song almost sounds like an old Gorillaz demo that was never released because it was bad. And the kick drum they used in this song sounds like an old 808 tom sound that's way too loud and is really annoying, and it sucks to listen to it on speakers because it overpowers everything, and it's mixed not very well. I don't like it. I don't like this song, okay? It's the worst song on the album. However, I do appreciate how it's different from the other ones, but that's about it. And then we have I Got My Tooth Removed, which to me is one of the funniest songs on the album. Starts off with this slow 3/4 emotional ballad that then goes into the full-on ska chanty chorus thing with the really goofy horns. And the first time I heard the switch up, I laughed out loud. Hearing that for the first time is really, really funny. I like it. It's so fucking dumb. The ballad portions of this song are really, really good and surprisingly emotional for what it is. This whole song feels like the Frog song, Frog on the Floor, but just done better and thought about more and put more effort into, and just better in general. And I'm getting my wisdom teeth removed soon, so I think it would be a crime for me not to like this song. And I feel like I'll have to listen to this on repeat after I actually do that. Now on to the final song, Me. This song is a banger as well. This is one of those textbook examples of what hyperpop is. because hyperpop is such a broad term for music at this point, but this I think really nails what hyperpop is trying to be usually. If anyone would ask me what hyperpop sounds like, this would probably be the song that I would show them. I think the fact that this is the last song makes it sound more triumphant than when you listen to it as a single, because it's this like big celebration in the very end of the album. If you would have put this song anywhere else on the album, I think it would have removed that factor of it. It's a weird kind of subconscious feeling that doesn't change the song itself at all, but I like the placement in the track list of this a lot. I think the verses are very fun. I think the chorus is extremely good. I think it's very catchy. I like the melody in it. And then when they change the lyrics in the chorus later in the song, I think that's sick. I love the screaming vocals in that part, or the kind of yelling sounding stuff. I think that's great. And the production and the mixing on this song is really good. This feels like definitely one of the more polished songs on the album. I feel like it needs like one more section to stand out though. It's a bit basic structure wise, but I do like this song. I think it's a great ending to the album, and it's a really good banger to put on for your friends to get into hyperpop. This is the song that I would use to get my friends into the genre, I think. And that's the album, 10,000 gecs, which I still think is way too many. I probably couldn't take care of one gec. Then how would I take care of 10,000? Please help. So yeah, this album is wacky, it's catchy, it's rocky, it's punky. I think it's good. I think it's a solid 7.5 or an 8 out of 10. That's it for me today. I hope you liked the video. Please watch my last video, and I'll see you next week. Bye.